So welcome back to Jimbo Brown Cooks on the Road show. This sauce at least says La Pasta on it. I think it is definitely not made in Italia. This is made in Ukraine. I don't know exactly where. But as you can see, it just has tomatoes and a sausage. Let's see how it tastes. I don't know how to describe that. It's like ketchup meets something horrible. Whoa! Wow, we're gonna have to heavily modify that sauce. So the way we do that is we have tomatoes, garlic, onion, garlic, red pepper, and I think we're just gonna water this down with some sort of, and we have meat. This is really ridiculous. It's like I don't know if you can see, it's like a glutinous, it's like ketchup, but not the good kind. Wow, La Pasta. Definitely not for pasta, so. I guess we're just gonna have to water that down. Maybe some booze, some vodka. And so we'll get to the cutting. I know that seems pretty boring, so we'll just cut open a shit ton of garlic. I usually use like half on anything I do these days, especially with the coronavirus. So it's good to have a lot of garlic in your system. Vitamin C, vitamin D. Some zinc if you're feeling bad. It's like the race car to get all those buddies into the right place. And that provides you with a 99.9% effective immune system. So cooking with the right foods, such as garlic, makes a huge difference in your body's ability to fight against whatever they're designing in the labs these days, whether it be new viruses or vaccines, who knows what is being cooked up. But we are going to be cooking up some Ukrainian style pasta. So I'm going to cut this up and then we'll come back and see once we start to add the ingredients together how it comes out. Now they say that hunger makes everything taste better. And maybe it's just because of this sugar in this thing, but I think I'm a convert. Oh man, that's hard. But that sugar is so good. So, what are you gonna do? Let's cut an onion. Should've probably got 2 onions. We use onions a lot. I'll use half this onion for this. Save it for the next pasta meal we have to make. One of the things about eating and cooking on the road is you really have to. Well, for myself, I've been about 3 months now in Europe, and I've kind of just gone the way of utilizing all my expenses. I mean, I don't really have much money left. And on top of that, I'm making probably rash or irrational decisions in regards to my lifestyle. I could have been having a nice Christmas dinner with people someplace. Instead, I'm here with you, cutting onions. That should be enough, I think. And making a cheap cooking video. So, truth be known, that this too shall pass. Life is just a series of ongoing dilemmas that you have to, I guess, learn from. You don't have to. Then you just keep repeating them. But if you haven't been exposed to something in a while, and you make the same mistake, then, you know, it's because you're not kind of living in you're not really awake. You're not really feeling any pain or suffering. You're just kind of going through life. Now, a lot of people I know, well, I don't necessarily know them personally. I see them on the streets of New York or in large places in America or anywhere in the world that just generally have gotten to the point where they're being coddled by constant distraction, media, pornography, and I'm just as liable for that. The only real reason why I noticed, that I had sort of a big rebel. I've always kind of known, but it's so easy to fall into those habits when you're surrounded constantly by the media or digital or whatever, the flashing screens and phones and buzzers and beeps and notifications and maps and Googling things, But when I was in Turkey, I didn't have the internet, the Wi-Fi, or the telephone really had no use for me because I didn't have any service. And I really started to see the difference in my own life. And they didn't have alcohol either. They didn't have beer. And this is kind of closer to the Syrian border. In Istanbul, they have plenty of beer. But, if you go to, further you go into Turkey, the less alcohol you have. So now we have some garlic and onions ready to go. We're going to do some red pepper. This is going to be this is a special Christmas sauce. So we need to have at least, a Santa Claus looking fella in there. I don't know what angle is good on, or if you guys even like seeing the actual cutting process. But, the more and more that especially here in Ukraine, the more and more that I think about my life in Turkey, the more and more I realize how, and that should be enough. We don't have to have all the pepper for this. This is for other things later. That I didn't realize how much value I had and how well, initially there was a culture shock, not being able to access things. And I've had that problem throughout this trip because the cell phone that I have is is completely compatible in the United States for whatever you want. It's a cheap, shitty LG phone or whatever. But here, for some reason, it's not compatible with their 4G. But it is compatible with 2G. Now, I don't know if 2G is any good, but, it doesn't really, it's not. As far as being a useful internet provider. But it is a phone, and it works in the Ukraine, but not in Turkey. Unless you're abroad and paying fees for roaming or this, that, and the other. I don't know how it works. I can't speak Ukrainian or read the Cyrillic that they send me via text message. And they love to, Kyivstar loves to send you text messages about whatever the crap they are sending. Even when you don't have service, like in Turkey, you'll still get text messages from them, just flaunting the fact that, your phone totally works, we're just not going to let you use it. Anyways, so once I was in that position of being sort of isolated away from those tech in a real way, and also the beer, that makes a big difference, I think, the beer, and also just from alcohol. I had a bottle of vodka, but I would drink that sparingly at night, just a rationed out amount per day. And, I just started feeling very healthy, and my brain started working just so much better. Like the fog had gone away, and I was feeling alive for the first time in a long time. And of course I was there for like 3 or 4 days and had to go back. Oh man. That sauce. I don't know how to describe it. Whew. But anyways, so we have garlic, onions, red pepper. I think the next thing we should add, any more veggies. So we'll move all that over. We have tomatoes to offer. So what I'm contemplating, and what I've noticed, is as soon as I got back to Ukraine, soon I was not necessarily in the greatest situation as far as my own personal whatever. I realized I went straight back to the internet. I was just surfing the web all the time, just checking out my Houston Rockets scores, going to the media sites, finding out the local news, weather, what the hell's going on, like up to the minute updates, and pornography as well. And so I don't like that, to be honest. I kind of want to go back to that simpler way of life and feel healthier, both in my mind and my body. I mean, it would help if you spoke Turkish, but with a common translator, it's not so bad. So now we have tomatoes. I think we're gonna save. We might add a little bit more tomato. And then what about the meat, guys? Do you want to add some meat to this? This is I have no idea what it is. Looks like some sort of just basic kind of bacon, ham, conglomeration. Whatever we can do to make this sauce better. We don't have any, I left all, oh, we have spices. Haha! We have spices from Istanbul. Karakoy. Yes. So when I left in the middle of the night with my suitcase and a prayer, I did manage to take the sriracha and the spices. The beef bouillon, not so much. A couple other things I regret, well, I don't regret, but just didn't fit in the suitcase in a grab and go situation. So, how much do you think we should do this? Oh, that smells nice. This is like a, just, I don't know, some sort of bacon, ham. No, we don't even need that much for the sauce. Let's save some of this for breakfast or whatever else we still have to get through. Oh, for the soups later. This should get its own bag. Do you have an extra bag going on here, guys? We'll have to figure out that situation in a second. So if you want to see, we're just gonna, I think, just gently slice this into chunks. Nice chunks. I don't even know if this is picking up on camera, but we hope so. So just some big, beautiful chunks of meat. And this also this is also something you would have to import to Turkey. And I did import a lot of things to Turkey, mainly pork and alcohol, because those things are, if you can find them, which you couldn't in certain places, but Istanbul you can find them, but they're just ridiculously expensive. So like I brought a 1 liter bottle of Tito's alcohol, which at JFK in the customs, or the duty free, it cost me I think 17 bucks, 18 bucks, and then it was like 600 Turkish lira, which is like almost 100 bucks in Istanbul. So maybe 75 or something. And the same thing with the pork. So my friend who lives in Istanbul, who was great enough to put me up, just made a couple of simple requests, and I pretty much stocked him up with a little bit of the pricier things that you can't get, or well, you can get in Istanbul, but you wouldn't want to pay that much for. So here we go: pork, tomatoes, red peppers, onions, garlic. I think we should start making a sauce. Let's go to the stove. Welcome back to Christmas Eve with Jimbo Brown, cooking on the road show. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna boil some water for the pasta. Who knows how long that takes. Add some of this sale marino. Looks like Idaho, but I guess it's iodine. This is hot water. We don't need hot water. And there's an issue with the hot water heater here. Fuck. We'd like to take hot showers, much less than use it on pasta water that's just gonna get hot on its own. So here we go, maybe a little bit less. Pop this sucker on. Now, what do you think? Is it light by itself? And let's see. Wrong one, but yeah, I like it. Modern technology at its best. Boom, just like that. Boom, just like that, son. Now, this pan seems to be sort of like whatever. I mean, typically in a situation like this, you would like to use, like, I don't know, some olive oil or something. We're just gonna throw all this stuff in there. Boom. Because you're gonna get enough of oil from the fat of the meat, I do believe. And, you know, just the juices of everything going on in there. So we're just gonna pop that sucker on. Let's see if we can do this again. Boom, just like that. Now, the one thing that we do have, which is kind of cool, that we got from Istanbul, is fresh spices. Yay! So this is just a ground pepper, which is, you know, nice to have. Some ground pepper. Let's see how this, I'm gonna get some of this little black parts out of the water. And some brown pepper. Boom, 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 boom. That's how it's done, son. We also have this beautiful, and I know I've shown this to you before, this beautiful paprika. It's just one of those gorgeous things. Gorgeous, that you can only find in the markets, the spice markets of Istanbul, Turkey. Kind of hot turkey. Back in the bowl. So we like spice. So add some of that. This is a kind of a, I guess what you would consider a chili powder. It's more of the sweet. So we'll add some of the sweet. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. And this is just dried parsley that I got in Zaporizhia, Ukraine. Look at add this stuff, I don't know why. If I have the bag, I might as well. And of course, the coup de grace. Always gotta make sure you got that sriracha, baby. Sriracha lady, all in the nude. She looked at me and she looked away, and I think I saw her smile. So, now I don't know if we have any of the, let's see here, we got a spoon, got a thing. What about in here? What about in here? So we got a spoon. So we'll spoon it up. Spoon river. Spoon the fuck out of this motherfucker. There we go. Spoon, 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 spoon. Oh, that's kind of nice, just by itself. It's almost sad that we have to add the crazy ketchup shit. You don't have to, but kind of makes the whole element of the sauce a sauce. It's really hard just to buy tomato sauce here. It's like for some reason in Ukraine they just love ketchup, and then you get like 75 different varieties of ketchup. No idea who introduced that to them or what they were thinking. So let's add some of this crazy ketchup pasta sauce. Boom, 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 boom. That's about half. That's what we want. So we can make more of this tomorrow. It's growing on me. I think it's the sugar. I think it's just all sugar. That's why it's so intense. Yeah, it doesn't tell you. And what would a good sauce be without some local vodka, right? Gotta have some alcohol in there. Why not? Yeah, why not? Cheers. Nobody did. Let's throw the. Whoa. Now we got a vodka sauce. Pretty fucking fancy. All right. So we're just gonna let that kind of go together for a while. Cook it down. See, sauce is cooking out real nice. The funny thing is because I added all these spices and the red peppers especially, that the gelatinous ketchup sweetness actually sort of evened out all the spice. Well, that's nice. This is not quality beer, and I don't recommend cooking with not quality beer, but we do what we can. As you can see, the beer is a little bit more moisture, so we can get some more time in the cooking. This is still not close to Still not close to boiling, but we'll see what we can do. And the pasta, yeah, look at that. See? I like to have that nice sort of thin consistency so that when it just boils down, it comes into a nice, beautiful. But look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is all made with things you can buy for whatever, $7, $6 at the local cheap grocery store in KYIV, Ukraine, downtown. There's no grocery stores, everything's fancy. It's all restaurants and bars. So typically if you have an apartment like this, and I just pulled the trigger because I was just tired and wanted something nice. I don't know why, but sometimes I make rash decisions, and ultimately, yeah, there's no grocery stores really around here. It's all just posh shopping and fancy restaurants and bars. So people that are actually renting places like this hardly would be the people to be cooking, because there's really nowhere to buy ingredients. I had to walk pretty far to, like I said, a discount store, Vila, and just buy whatever I could to make this sumptuous Christmas Eve meal that you see before you. This is turning out really nice. I mean, you use ingredients and can't go wrong. Yeah, I think it needs a little bit more beer, don't you? Just a little bit more beer. Boom. All right, let's see how that turns out. Get that pasta going. What do you think we should do with the bread? Just tear off a chunk? Oh, this is not chunk terrible territory. Let's see what we do. Oh, that's real fucking bread. Not bad. I don't know. Sauce. Yeah. Now we're cooking with gas. Not all pasta is created equal. Look how thin. This pasta doesn't really feel like pasta, to be honest. It feels like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like pasta. Of course, it is the cheapest pasta they have, but I've had so much cheap pasta in my life, and it's never felt like this. How much do we need? Like, what's it gonna do? Probably just make more, right? Got a whole bag of this crap. Make as much pasta as you can, see what happens. This is really thin. It's gonna be hard to carry the weight of this sauce, to be honest. Let's see. You want to see this? This is super thin. Super thin pasta. It's gonna be like one big mass, a lump of pasta. Is that enough? It's hard to tell. I never give the sauce a stir. Oh, that's starting to look nice. It's starting to tin out nice there, guy. Just give it a shot. Yum, yum, yum. Herbert, how do we make that out of that crap? No idea. All right, so I think we're just gonna have to put in more just to be on the safe side. And some more of the pasta. See how it goes. Oh, and boom. Done. Done, son. And that leaves us with like a whole half a bag of this, whatever the crap it is. Give it a stir. Once again, if you were making pasta like normally, you'd probably want a little olive oil so that it doesn't stick together. Sauce is coming around well. Just gonna let that, I think we're just gonna start letting that simmer. But man, those flavors are just really starting to pop. It's like a beer pasta sauce. God damn it, I like it. I like the concept. Let's go more beer. Let's just blow it out. Boom. Done, son. All right, let's see how this turns out. So it didn't take long for this pasta to cook at all. I mean, I guess it's so thin, but it absorbs that salt like crazy. This is really salty pasta, which is fine. The problem is that, no, it's not a problem. It's just that this tomato sauce that I made is not really a pasta sauce at all anymore. It's more like a soup. I don't know what kind of soup it would be called, but it's delicious. And I've just been dipping it with bread. Man. So good. I don't think it's gonna mix with the pasta because I think it's too thin. The pasta's too thin. So I didn't see any. Well, that's a problem. I didn't see any hot, oven mitts or anything. So we have to figure out a way to strain the pasta without a pasta colander or strainer and not burn our hands. See what we do. So I'm just gonna take 2 clean t-shirts. I don't know why I would take the clean one. Turn this bad boy off. And we're gonna use the lid for the other pot. I don't know why I used the clean ones and the white ones. Maybe because they're just there. I don't know if you can see this, but we're gonna strain the pasta with the lid from another container. But hopefully, and since it's so thin, you need to really, I don't really want to use these t-shirts because I think they're gonna get wet. So why don't we use dirty t-shirts, right? Not the beautiful, pristine, laundered t-shirts. But then why would you want to cook with dirty t-shirts, you know? Like who the hell is cooking with dirty t-shirts these days? Well, we're gonna try it out. So the Dirty Cooking T-Shirt Club is here to stay. Let's see if we can get a close-up on that. Still trying to figure out all these angles. On the camera, we're gonna try to use a little give as we can. Let's see what we can do. That pasta's gonna come out pretty fast. Oh, it's not so bad so far. Boom. Son, look at that. Oh. Dirty t-shirt pasta. Woo-hoo. Now let's go check this tomato beer soup that we've made. And find out what the final product is like. All right, let's try this shit out. There's a shit ton of pasta. It's not very good. A little bit of sauce up. If I don't eat that sauce, then I'll put it back in this jar for the next round. But look, we plated. It's our finished product. Kind of cool, huh? Now let's see if it's any good. Yeah, the pasta's shit, but oh, it's so spicy. I mean, salty. Oh, but nonetheless, not so bad. Cooking on the road with Jimbo Brown. Bon appetit. See how that turns out.